You're in your 20s, you've either just turned 20 or you're in your late 20s, your early 20s, and you just feel behind. You constantly feel like the world is moving on and you're still stuck in the same place. I know this because I have been there. I am still there. I am 23 and I still feel like I'm falling behind in life. I feel like it's so important for us people to understand when we enter our 20s, we are still babies. For example, when you're 21, you're only 1 year old in the adult world. When you're 25, you're only 5 years old in the adult world. And I think it's important to look at it that way because going into your 20s, you go from being a child, you go from coming from school, having everything planned for you, your roll class, your subjects, you have everything planned for you, your lunches, if your parents made your lunches for you, to graduating school and having no idea what you're doing, no idea what your path is, no idea what you're supposed to do to make a living. You have all these things on your shoulders like, do I go to university? Do I go here? What do I do? You have no idea. And I think in this society where there is so many opportunities online, I think that is one thing that also plays a very big part in our career path and the choices we make and what we want to pursue for our life. And no, I'm not saying online opportunities are bad because they definitely are not. There are so many opportunities online where you can make so much money and it can take you down so many different avenues in life. But what I am saying is that because there are so many opportunities online, sometimes you just don't know which one to take. You don't know which one to go down because there's so many options and that can be confusing. I am 23 and I have joined two network marketing companies. I didn't stay with any of them because I just realized they weren't for me. That's not what I wanted to do. And although the goal was something I wanted, that initial path, I just found out for myself that it wasn't for me. However, the reason why I did join remains the same, and that is time freedom. That is something that I truly value and something that I want for myself, especially going into turning 24. That is still something I want, and it will forever be something that I want until I reach that goal. And because I have let go of those opportunities and I want to find another way to pursue that goal, sometimes it's got me feeling a little bit lost in today's society. Sometimes it's got me feeling very behind in today's society. And sometimes I need to sit there and remind myself that although I am still in a 9 to 5, my dreams are still valid. My feelings are still valid. The goal that I have for myself still remains, and the goal is still valid. Do I know how I'm going to get there? Not 100%. Do I believe that I can get there? 100%. One thing I wish I knew when I turned 20 was the fact that I am not going to have it all figured out, no matter how much I tell myself that I do, no matter how much people around me can say, oh, you can do this, you can do that. It's just not that easy. And I think that is the point of life. That is the point of everybody's individual journey, is to go through hard times, is to try this and try that and see what works and what doesn't work. And again, we are babies in this adult world and we have no idea what we are doing. But again, that's probably the point. So I can definitely relate to you. I know how it feels to wake up every single day, have the same thing for breakfast, drive the same route to go to work, go to the same 9 to 5, do the exact same task and the exact same schedule there. I know exactly how that feels because I'm currently living it. I'm currently living that cycle, okay? I'm stuck in the system and I'm stuck in the rat race, and I know how that feels because it can be a very heavy, very stressful, and a very depressing cycle, especially if you're aware of it, especially if you're aware of the fact that that is how the system is and that is how the system was catered to make you feel that way, to make you feel small, to make you feel trapped, and to make you feel like this is the only way that you're supposed to live. When in reality, that is not how us humans are supposed to be living. And that's probably why there is a inkling in your soul trying to tell you, I don't want to live like this anymore. There is so much more for me out there in the world. There has to be more for me out in the world than repeating the same cycle on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, like a rat or a hamster running on that little hamster wheel. No, I refuse. I refuse to believe that we're put on this earth to go on a never ending cycle of repeating the same thing over and over and over again. I refuse. There is just everything my body refuses to accept that that is the only outcome and that is the only option for all of us. Obviously, it will be hard to get out of that cycle because it is built, it is indoctrinated into us ever since we're young. And unless you have a mentor, unless you find an opportunity, you will be stuck there your whole entire life until you are in the graveyard. It's sad and it's depressing. Yes. I don't want to ramble too much about it, but I have an experience I'd like to share with you guys. Today is what's today? Today's Thursday. And because I am 23 and I have no idea what I'm doing with my life, and I haven't reached the goals that I have set for myself yet, still working towards them though. That means that I am working a 9 to 5 still. I am stuck in the system and I am stuck in the matrix, if you will. So because I still work a 9 to 5, my job is very repetitive. Okay, I work in a warehouse. I've done the retail, I've done, bartending, I've done all those things, but I found myself in the warehouse industry. And if you guys don't know much about it, it can be quite full on and quite heavy. But the warehouse job that I am in currently, I won't say the company, but it is voice picking. So you drive around on those EPJ machines, okay, for your full 8 hour shift, and you have a headset on your head and you are talking to a robot. You're talking to a robot all day and you're repeating the same thing. You're driving down the same aisles for 8 hours straight. You're talking to a robot that has no emotion, that does not care about you. And to make things worse, at this warehouse that I'm working at, which is usually my escapism, okay, and every job is music, because that's the one thing you can be in control of when you are working in a warehouse. However, at this warehouse that I'm working at, it's the same music every single day. You could go to work next Monday, and I guarantee you could predict the next song, the next 5 songs. That's how repetitive the music is. Now, the issue here for me is that because everything is the same, including the music, and because you're voice picking, you only have a 10-15 second frame before your next location to fill your mind up with as much positivity and as much motivation as you can to keep going throughout your day so that you don't go insane, so that you don't drown in self pity and drown in negative thoughts. That day, usually I'm pretty good at it, but that day, I was losing. I was losing to my thoughts, I was losing to my emotions, and I was absolutely losing to the system, and I was failing, okay? I was walking around like a miserable person just with skin and bones, and my aura just screamed, I don't want to be here. Negativity, not it, okay? It wasn't giving aura, it wasn't giving positivity, it wasn't giving optimism, it was giving everything complete opposite of those 3 things, okay? But when I think about it, there are so many people who think that is the only thing that is available to them and that is all life can be, which is not 100% true. However, I understand why so many people feel that way because that's all we've known. That's all we've ever known. And that's how the system was made at the end of the day. One thing I wish that I knew going into my 20s was I really wish that people around me told me it's okay to fail, it's okay to dream big, it's okay to try new things until you find what you want to do, and it's okay not to want to do the same thing over and over and over again. There are so many people out there who have the mindset of, I want to be an entrepreneur, which is really good. But then there's a larger scale on the opposite side of that, where a lot of people just don't know. And I'm not faulting you guys for it because I have been there and I'm half in, half out right now, where I'm stuck in the system and I'm stuck in the cycle. But then my other leg is on the other side of things where it's like, I want to make things work and I want to get myself out of this. If you're in your 20s, because that is who I want to talk to. I want to talk to people who are in a similar boat as me. I want to talk to people who feel the same as me because it is a journey and it's going to be a long journey. So if you are in your 20s, I want you to know that you can start as many times as you need to. You can try as many avenues as you need to until you find the right one. That is the point about being in your 20s. You are supposed to try new things. You are supposed to see what works, see what doesn't work, see what builds your interest, see what sparks a flame within your chest. You are supposed to do those things in your 20s because just because you're 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and so on, doesn't mean you're meant to have everything figured out because you just won't. You just won't have it all figured it out. And if you do, I give you all my respect and I bow down to you because it is hard out here. This journey is hard. Being in your 20s, you are still a baby, okay? You are still a baby. If you're 21, you're only a 1 year old in the adult world. If you're 28, you're only 8 years old in the adult world. And I think when you put it in that perspective, it allows yourself and allows your mind to give you grace. Give yourself some grace because living down here is not easy, okay? One thing I would like to share with you guys, as I am going to practice it in my own life, and hopefully it'll help you guys as well practice it in yours if you're going through the same thing as me. I was talking to someone at work and I explained to this person how I've been feeling and how I feel like I'm stuck in the cycle and I feel like I'm stuck in the rat race and I'm stuck in the matrix and all these things, okay? And he said to me he felt the exact same way one time and the emotions got too heavy to the point where he realized, to the point where he thought to himself, is it even worth living anymore? And it's sad to think that the system can make someone feel that way about their life. It's sad to think that the system and the matrix have the power to make someone feel that way over their life and over what's rightfully theirs, which is having choices and which is building something for themselves. But, anyways, I'm going to stop rambling. He said to me, I know how you feel. One thing that has helped me, especially working here, is setting yourself a goal every single day, whether that is something little and minor as reading a book or going for a walk outside, getting your 10K steps, drinking 5 liters of water, whatever it is that aligns with what you want for your life. Pick one little goal that you can achieve every single day that will give you something to live for and get through every single day, one day at a time, which I'm going to do for myself. And hopefully that can help one of you guys as well if you're going through the same thing as me, because I do have lifelong goals. Okay, I do have lifelong goals and things that I want to achieve, but those are goals that are going to happen in the future. They're goals that I'm going to work towards slowly. And I never looked at it like that. I've never had a goal every single day that I can accomplish to just keep my soul alive throughout this cycle that I find myself trapped in. So it's something to keep in mind. What's that quote? Food for thought, or thought for food, for food of thought. But if you're in the cycle like me, just keep going because we're built for more, okay?